This will be hopefully a quick video about placing dashcam, wiring a dashcam power on a Nissan Leaf 2013. So let's get into it. Now, the thing about wiring dashcams is that nobody likes the awful long-running wires, and usually you get with the camera a cigarette lighter socket type of power adapter, and you need to wire this all around, tuck it behind all those coverings and mess around the airbags that nobody should really mess around, and then come around all the dash, or from the other side, same deal, back to the 12-volt socket, and then it's taken, and you need to use some kind of splitter or wire it into wherever. And it's much better to use it for like an USB charger instead. So I also got a 12-volt adapter to USB with the camera, and this needs a 12-volt source. So the question is, where do you get it? And a lot of recommendations on the forum were to use powered mirror and take the power from behind the mirror. And if you have that, then whoop-de-doo, easy money, and you can wire it from there. I happen to have just a common peasant mirror, so no power in there. But I do have a rain sensor here, and I unplugged the rain sensor. Where's the plug here? And tried taking power from that, but that had 12-volt in it that didn't go off when I turned the car off. And so some guys recommended overhead lights, but that also at first glance, when I took it off, didn't seem to go off when the ignition going off. But I found on the forum some guy mentioned briefly that, hey, this power actually goes off after 10 minutes. So I tested it, pulled it off again, put the test leads on it, put my meter on the dashboard, turned the car off, waited 10 minutes, and it did turn off. So you can actually take 12 volts from the overhead lights. Maybe the rain sensor also goes off after 10 minutes, but since around the rain sensor there isn't much room, and nobody really wants to cut much wires, and there is plenty of room on top of here, then I think it's easier to splice into those wires, because there it's very finicky and very little room. Here there is plenty of room after I pull this down, and I will show you that. Now the way you take this top part off is most easily done by running fingers under here. The main holders are here, and there are latches up here. So these go under the covering, but here they go into the holes, so you must pull from here, and now the top part comes around. Those were the two pegs that go into the body. And now you have two connectors here that you can take off. This little one goes to the microphone, that is here, in case you're wondering. And these are the power that comes, this is the power lead that comes from the central unit. And here we are going to tap into two wires. Be back in a moment. So on top of here we have yellow, red, black and green wires. The yellow seems to be always on 12 volts, and the red one is the one that has the 10 minutes timeout, but sometimes it also goes out with the car going out. At the moment you can see the car is turned off, but the 12 volts is on and the 10 minutes timer is running. It will go off after 10 minutes. So we are going to splice, I am going to splice into the red and the black one up here. And then run the cable on top of here from the middle section, nice and clean to the camera. And I am going to use those nice over the wire clips. I'll show you later. Then I have the plugs that I can turn off, take on and off when I wish, and there is no permanent fixture here that I can't remove if I need or have to remove. And all those wires can be tucked up here, nice and hidden, and I don't have to cut anything. Actually, I can just tie them together as much as needed. Also, I have to do something with the USB lead, because it's straight, and this means it comes out in a straight way, and this is not what I wish. I want it to go 90 degrees up, so maybe I'll just cut and tie it up here to make it nice and clean. So let's do this. And this is how the other end of those wire splicers looks like. You make a little cut into the wire and then just fold it over, and then you will enter the other end on top of this, and this will be your connection. Fancy. You can get this cheaply from Chinaland, like a big pack for a few dollars. Now I had to cut the harness back a bit because there wasn't enough room for the splicing, and you can see I cut the copper here. I got the insulation so that the copper is seen, and now I will place this over it and close it with two hands. Now I did the same for the red side. I placed those plugs on top for testing, and as you can see we have 12 volts. So now I can use my, just a second, now I can use my adapter wires, plug them in, and I have 12 volts, and then do the wire running nice and neatly. I'm sure there are smaller ones of these available too, but this is what I got, and I am not just going to wait another month for these to be more neater. Those are good enough for my purpose, and these can be fitted with pressure clipping or also pulling the wire through and soldering. That's what I did here. I pulled those out, soldered them, pushed them back in, and then crimped a bit, because those are quite big and the small wires are a little bit too loose in there maybe. So that's it. Now zip tie together. This is how it looks like. The adapter is here, the excess cable is zip tied together there, and just a little cable comes from there, and I don't need to use this big mess all around here. It's just like this. Well, I can do something with the cable end to make it even neater, but this is it, and I can put back together now. This is how the cables sit when it's all back together. Let's see if I can one-handedly. No. Go back in there. Go. As it goes into its frame, and then I need to check that it doesn't interfere with the legs. And this is it back together, and I have no messy wires. I will clean this end up and put the covers back on the rain sensor, and this is pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I will add a little clip from the camera, and have a nice spring, because who likes winter? Hey, we don't need that.